Welcome back to McCarthy Performance. Today we'll be cutting some hemi Gen 3 heads. The customer wants 30 thousandths taken off these heads. So what I normally do is I measure the bosses on the ends, and I've got that written down so I know where it is right now. Never assume that these bosses are perfect because there's 4 thousandths difference between the two. Of course, when the bolt gets tightened in, cycled, depending on how many times the head's been off, um, the actual surface can be burnished, so that can change, or there can be a little bit of a ledge on it. So you got to make sure, wherever you're measuring it, at least you're pretty close. So we've got this head set up on the mill. We're going to make a light cut on it. See where it's setting with the mill. Right now it looks pretty good, under 1 thousandths. So we'll see where we're at. We'll fire up the mill and we'll get going on this one. Okay, you can see that the head's cutting pretty clean up here. There's some low spots here, a little bit here. Picks it back up. There's a gouge here from the factory, or I'm assuming these heads have never been surfaced. And then it kind of gets spotty around here. So just because the head gasket ain't blown, don't mean that it probably wouldn't hurt to have them milled. So it's kind of hit and miss here. So I'm going to take the dial indicator, set it on the wheel, and I'm going to knock it down 1 thousandths this way. I could lock it down and take the 30 all the way off of it. And the head would be relatively the same measurements, but seeing how it's cutting a little bit cleaner here, I'm going to tap the head a little bit, just 1 thousandths. And we'll get going on that. So I'm going to tap it down just a little bit. We got it set at 0. Right there. Well, we're at 20, and I don't want to catch the intake seat, so I'm probably going to take another 3 off. So I'm going to probably be about 23.7 away from 30, and I'm going to leave them because I don't want to drag the seat through the head. It'll look like crap. I imagine he's shooting for a CC, but I don't think he ever CC'd these heads to begin with, so 7 thousandths isn't going to break him, but it's going to break my polycrystal diamond cutter, and I'm not going to be happy. I could put a CBN in there, but it's not going to give out the finish, and it's still going to drag crap through the head. So we're going to make one more cut on this head, and then I'm done with it. Well, I took it a little further than I felt comfortable, but I got it to 25, and that's exactly where I'm going to stop because there's only about 3 thousandths of aluminum before I hit the seat that I can feel. So we'll get the other head in the mill, and we'll get to adjusting it and start cutting on her. There's the CK10. It's a little tight right there. I think I'm going to have to do some moving because I'm just about to the end of it, and it gets real close, and I sure don't want them two banging into each other. Okay, with this head, it's got a little bit of a twist to it on its low right here. So when I put my dial indicator in it and I swept from one end to the other, this part of the head was pretty good. This part of the head was not bad. This part of the head was miserable. So what I normally do is I'll take some marker, and you can see that I've got this marked. And right now where I am, there's about a 2/1000 in difference. Hopefully when I set the wheel down, the next pass will be about 2/1000, and it should cover the whole head. Usually on a head that's twisted or warped, let's say, normally I'll just put an indicator on it and we'll cut it till it's flat. I've got these two bosses that I've got numbers on. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to balance the head. It's kind of a bit of a screwing around, head around. I'll put a dial indicator on the deck and I'll bump it a couple thousandths down wherever I think it needs to be. And that's usually how I do it. Like I said, I put a dial indicator on it. It was good this way. It was level this way. It's just where I measured the head and it was straight. This part of the head was not straight. So from here to here, it was not straight. Now I'm starting to pick up points on it. But like I said, that's how I do it. I put marker on it. This next pass, I should be either weak on this marker where you can see cuts going through the marker, or it'll be gone. So I had some problems with this head being a little bit twisted and being a little bit bent up. But it's all done, it's all cut. Okay, so we had 1055. So we took 25 off, we should be at 1030. You can see that 1030. Okay, this side said 1052. It was kind of had a high spot on it, so let's say it should be at 127, 128, somewhere around there. 127 or 128 point, probably 5 or not. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost anything.